أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. ليعذب الله المنافقين والمنافقات والمشركين والمشركات ويتوب الله على المؤمنين والمؤمنات وكان الله غفورا رحيما.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على عبده ورسوله محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. صاحب السمو الأمير عبدالله بن فيصل بن تركي آل سعود، سفير خادم الحرمين الشريفين في الولايات المتحدة. أيها الضيوف الكرام، يطيب لي بمناسبة هذه الزيارة أن أتقدم لكم بأجمل التهاني والتبريكات بمناسبة عيد الفطر المبارك، راجية من الله العلي القدير أن يعيده علينا وعليكم بالصحة والعافية واليمن والبركة، وأن يتقبل منا ومنكم صالح الأعمال، وأن يحفظ بلادنا من كل مكروه. سمو السفير، زيارتكم لنا شرف ومحبة ستبقى مختومة في ذاكرتنا مغلفة بماء أعيننا. وختاما، شكرا لكم يا سمو السفير أنتم وصحبكم الكرام، ونتمنى من الله أن يعيد علينا وعليكم هذا العيد السعيد. نحن وبلادنا المملكة العربية السعودية وحكومة خادم الحرمين الشريفين بصحة وعافية، وأن يجنب بلادنا وبلاد المسلمين من كل مكروه. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أحمد الله عز وجل إليكم حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه، وأصلي وأسلم على خير الناس علما وقدرا وشرفا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم تسليما كثيرا. ثم أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، وكل عام وأنتم بخير. أيها الجمع الكريم، لقد أثبتت حكم الحياة وتجاربها وحضاراتها وثقافاتها المتقدمة أن النهضة وتحقيق الذات لا تقوم ابتداء إلا على النمو العلمي واستقصاء البحث وتقدير قيمة المعلومة. نعم، أقول هذا الكلام في ظل التناغم الكبير بين طموحات وطننا العظيم وآماله الكبيرة على أبنائه وبناته منهم المبتعثين خاصة. وأزيد أننا نعيش إمكانيات علمية وبحثية مذهلة في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، وهذا يدفعنا قدما لبذل عطاء مضاعف نشفي به غليل وطننا في ظل ما يواجهه من عبث العابثين في الداخل والخارج، ونحقق به أعماله التي يرجوها علوا وزهوا بين كل الأمم، حتى لا تأخذنا زهوة المعتز بلغنا السماء مجدنا وجدودنا وإنا لنرجو فوق ذلك مظهرا. أيها الجمع الكريم، إن أجمل ما في الاغتراب أنه يؤلف بين القلوب ويقارب بين الأرواح، فيحقق أخوة الدين وطموحات المستقبل. الواعد الذي ينتظر الجميع بإذن الله. شكرا سمو الأمير، شكرا أصحاب السعادة، شكرا لكم جميعا مشاركتنا ومشاطرتنا هذا الاحتفاء، وأعاد الله هذا العيد العظيم على وطننا وعلى الأمة الإسلامية بالخير والنهضة والنصر والتمكين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أما الآن يسرني أن أقدم لكم سعادة مساعد الملحق الثقافي للشؤون التعليمية في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، الدكتور عبدالله الحربي، فليتفضل مشكورا.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. صاحب السمو الأمير عبدالله بن فيصل بن تركي آل سعود، سفير خادم الحرمين الشريفين بالولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، وصحبه الكرام، ضيوفنا الأعزاء، أبناؤنا وبناتنا المبتعثين، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بداية باسم الأندية الطلابية السعودية في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية بشكل عام، والنادي السعودي في جامعة جورج واشنطن بشكل خاص، نرحب بكم سمو السفير بين أبنائكم المبتعثين في هذا المساء الجميل الذي يفيض فرحا واحتفاء بوجودكم بيننا ومشاركتكم أبنائكم المبتعثين حفل عيد الفطر المبارك، سائلا الله العلي القدير أن يعيده عليكم وعلينا وعلى الأمة الإسلامية بالخير والبركات. كما يسرني أن أنقل إليكم تحيات سعادة الملحق الثقافي الدكتور محمد العيسى، واعتذار سعادته عن الحضور ومشاركتكم حفلكم، وهو الحريص على حضور مثل هذه المناسبات لارتباطه مسبقا بزيارة إحدى الولايات للالتقاء بزملائكم في تلك الولاية. سمو السفير، إن من أهم البرامج الثقافية التي تحرص الملحقية الثقافية على دعمها وتنشيطها هو دعم الترابط والتواصل بين أبناء الوطن خلال فترة الابتعاث، ويتم ذلك من خلال أندية الطلبة السعوديين، حيث تشرف الملحقية الثقافية على ما يقرب من 350 ناد سعودي، وكل ناد مكون من هيئة إدارية تمثل كل فئات المبتعثين من طلاب وطالبات على السواء، يقومون بخدمة زملائهم من المبتعثين. ولعل من أهم الأنشطة التي تقيمها الأندية الطلابية الاحتفال بمناسبة عيدي الفطر والأضحى، والاحتفال باليوم الوطني للمملكة العربية السعودية، بالإضافة إلى المساهمة في الإثراء الثقافي والاجتماعي المعبر عن ثقافتنا وبيئتنا الإسلامية والعربية الأصيلة، وتقديمها للمجتمع الأمريكي، وإبراز مكانة المملكة العربية السعودية وما وصلت إليه من مكانة عريقة في شتى المجالات. سمو السفير، لعل ما يقومون به أبنائكم المبتعثين اليوم بالاحتفال بعيد الفطر المبارك ما هو إلا تعبيرا عن ذلك الحب والترابط والتواصل بين أبناء الوطن. ولعلي أجد فرصة مناسبة وإن جاءت متأخرا نرفع أسمى آيات التهاني والتبريكات لمقام خادم الحرمين الشريفين الملك سلمان بن عبد العزيز آل سعود، وإلى ولي عهده الأمين صاحب السمو الملكي الأمير محمد بن نايف آل سعود، وإلى ولي عهده الأمين صاحب السمو الملكي الأمير محمد بن سلمان، سائلا الله العلي القدير أن يحفظ بلادنا من كل سوء ومكروه. وفي الختام لا يسعني إلا أن أتقدم بالشكر الجزيل لسمو الأمير عبدالله بن فيصل بن تركي سفير خادم الحرمين الشريفين على استبقاء جزء من وقته الثمين لمشاركة أبنائه المبتعثين هذه المناسبة الغالية. كما لا يفوتني أن أتقدم بالشكر للإخوة والأخوات القائمين على هذا الاحتفال، وعلى رأسهم المبتعثة روزانا سكلو رئيسة النادي السعودي في جامعة جورج واشنطن، ولجميع زملائها في اتحاد الطلبة السعوديين. والشكر أيضا للمسؤولين بجامعة جورج واشنطن لإتاحة الفرصة لكم بإقامة هذا الحفل في إحدى قاعاتها، وعلى الدعم الذي تقدمه الجامعة لكم. والشكر موصول لكم جميعا أيها الحضور، وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عدنا لكم، وأما الآن مع كلمة صاحب السمو ملكي الأمير تركي بن عبدالله السعودي. فليتفضل مشكورا.
تحية طيبة للجميع، كل عام وانتم بخير. توكيل تقول للأخ وش اسمه؟ خالد إنه لخبط في اسمي. أنا لخبط في اسمي، إن شاء الله تتابعون كل الأشياء. أهم شيء تعملون لأنفسكم في رقي مستواكم، دراستكم، الوصول إلى مستوى تعليمي قوي من قدراتكم المهنية. البلد وخدمتها وأهلكم كل هذا ما في شك في ضمانكم، لكن أنتم دراستكم تجهيز حالكم للمستقبل أهم شيء. كلنا إن شاء الله نخدم لاحقا، وإن شاء الله نقدر كلنا نتعاون سفارة مع الإخوان المحليين، نجد بعض الأشياء اللي قد تفيد أكثر. الدولة ما في شك قدر استطاعتها تحاول تدعم ابتعاث ترتيب تطوير التعليم في البلد، وإن شاء الله أنتم المثال الأعلى لجدوا الأحسن مستوى من التعليم والتطور التقني، التطور الاقتصادي. وأمريكا بلد مفتوحة. زمان أنا مع الأسف ما درست وأبوي رفض النادي الأمريكي، ما أدري ليش، ما غيرت أتذكر زمان. تحسبت الحقيقة، درست هندسة لأن أبوي يبغى هندسة، مع أن أبوي ما تعلم. إحنا من مكة طبعا، لكن جدي دار من منطقة الرياض، وما كان يبغى، كان متحفظ شوي، ما كان يبغى يتعلم أكثر. طلع من المدرسة عمره 10 سنين. لكن لما سافر أول مرة والد شاف لبنان وسوريا وبكلام فلسطين وحولها ومصر، اندهش. في ناس مثلنا مسلمين وعرب يحكون عربي ولا، لكن عندهم أشياء بالنسبة لنا يعني فرق كبير. طبعا أيضا أنتم شباب ما تذكرون الأشياء اللي مرت علينا، فكان فرق شاسع. فهلكنا موضوع هندسة، بس هندسة رحت بريطانيا واحد لازم يقدم بدري ما ليش. بغينا هندسة أو علوم، يعني مواد تطبيقية، علوم تطبيقية، لايت ساينس، لأنه ذيك الأيام ما حد يتوظف، ما حد يعرف التوظيف، إلا اللي عوالم عندهم تجارة، بس غيرهم عمره ما حد اشتغل لحد. من أول في المنطقة الوسطى الناس يشتغلون في مزارع لا عشان بس أكل، يحصل أكل طول النهار وأكل أول ما يصير. احنا كنا نبغى مرتبة، نبغى علوم تطبيقية عشان نحصل المرتبة 7. فهدف الواحد كان يدور مادة يحفظ بس يحفظ فيها عشان بس يقدم امتحان خاص بالشهادة. فأنتم طبعا غير، أنتم المفروض أحسن من جيلنا وناس تخصصوا بالشيء، لا تدرسون شيء لا تفهمونه. لا يعني عمره ما الواحد يروح يعمل مادة ما تسوى، غيرها تأخر، معلش تأخرون بعضهم ولا يعني ما يعني هذا زي لازم تحل موضوع انك انت رايح الدراسة لازم تتحمل، رايح الشغل لازم تتحمل، لأن ما تسوى الواحد يمر عليه. احنا درسنا وكان هواء ورحنا بعدين بس إننا استفدنا فيه. كل الدنيا كانت تتحرك بالنسبة للتنمية وكلنا بس عشان ناخذ الشهاده، يقول انك حتى الامتحان ما يقول انك مهندس، يقول لك قدمت امتحان في شيء كذا ونجحت. مثلا تحصل شهاده لا يعني انك وبعدين رحنا توفقنا في المناصب والمناصب، كان لسه الاشياء كنا في البدايه. لما كنت حاضر في السنه التحضيريه في جامعه السعودي، مدير الجامعه كان يحكي السيره الذاتيه حقتي، ما ادري ايش رئيس الملك الجبليه ومحافظ الاستثمار وما ادري ايش وما ادري ايش. يوم وقفت احكي لهم قلت لا يغركم السيره الذاتيه، شهادات الاختبارات تنجح او مناصب، يعني تيجي صدف يجيك فرصه تصير في منصب بس كذا، يعني بالصدف صدف تاريخيه ما اعرف احد كذا. لكن كان عندنا اعظم مسؤولين في الهيئه الملكيه كان مدير الجبيل اسمه جميل الجشي. اول ما شفته كان مغبر كذا، كانوا كلهم ناقلين توهم الجبيل عام كم 76 لسه ما بدا الشغل في الجبيل، فإنه ظني كذا وهو دائما كان معه رسالة الخير. بس الرجل العظيم قال لي شوف تبغى تتعلم روح الجبيل بعد سنتين تبدا جنبه، تبغى الراحه اقعد في الرياض. عندي كيام في الغربه لكم سنه وخاطب لكم سنه وبقعد عند امي واهلي وكذا، فقعدت في الرياض. قلت للطلاب النكته وش انه انا استفدت من وجودي هناك وترفعت وما ادري ايش وصرت بعدين امين عام الهيئه ورئيس الهيئه الى اخره. لكن اقول لهم قلت لهم بصراحه لم اشعر اني اكتملت مهنيا، مساله المنصب ولا المواقع ولا كذا لا تعني انك الواحد. اهم شيء المعرفه عندك، اهم شيء انك تحس انك فاهم هالشغله ويصبر الواحد ولا يشوف المناصب والمسميات والوظائف والفرص من هنا. فلازم اوقف انا بقعد من الشيبان نستمر بالحكي. شاكر لكم دعوتكم، وان شاء الله في المستقبل نقعد اكثر مع بعض، نبغى نسوي اشياء كثيره في السفاره الراعيين والاخوانكم الحقيقه ما قصروا، واشكركم على هذه الدعوه وكل عام وانتم بخير.
أود أن أشكر سعادة السفير على رحابة صدره وسعة باله. ربما أخطأت من شدة فرحتي وفرحة زملائي الطلاب بلقائنا بك، وإضافة إلى الضيوف الكرام. فشكرا لك صاحب السمو الأمير عبدالله بن فيصل بن تركي آل سعود. أما الآن فننتقل معكم إلى كلمة الأستاذ دوغلاس شو، Senior Associate Professor of International Strategy.
Your Excellency, Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for inviting me to join you for this happy occasion tonight and for convening it here at the George Washington University. I regret that I'm unable to address you in anything but English, but let me try to express how excited we are to have 168 Saudi nationals enrolled as students here at the George Washington University. a number that we hope to enlarge in the coming years. The emergence of the Saudi Student Association is an important step forward in building the Saudi element of our community here in GW, and we are very excited about it. We're grateful to the Saudi Student Association, particularly Khaled Al-Otaibi and Rosanna Saku for working to bring this program together tonight. And we look forward to engaging with the Saudi Student Association to put on more programs moving forward. University President Stephen Knapp very much regrets that he is out of town and unable to be here with you tonight, but he very much looks forward to meeting with Saudi Arabian Minister of Education, Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Isa, in August, and other future opportunities to interact with Saudi leadership and with Saudi students to ensure a strong and effective representation of the university as a great place for the best Saudi students to come and learn. Thank you so much for including me tonight.
أما الآن مع فقرة ستاند كوميدي مع السيد شهر رزمي.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Shaw, for coming up here and speaking English. I was in the back just reading and trying to learn Arabic as fast as I could. But luckily I just realized I don't have to. So thank you so much for having me here. My name is Shariar. I'm going to try my best to be funny for you guys tonight. I haven't seen you guys smile once. I was watching from the back. So just try your best to have a good time. I know stand-up comedy is not, it might be new for some of you, but hopefully you guys will enjoy this. I myself am not from Saudi Arabia. I did grow up in Saudi Arabia, and many members of my family were born in Saudi Arabia, but I was born here, and my family is originally from Pakistan, South Asia, but we have customs very similar, right, to Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of things we have in common. And there's a lot of things we don't have here that, or you see in America. For example, in America, there's a lot of customs that are strange, I think, to us. Like in America here, one of the customs they have is they have surprise birthday parties. Right? You know, in America, they have these surprise birthday parties. And that's strange, I think, to us, because we don't really have surprise birthday parties where we come from. But we do have surprise weddings. Right? Instead, that's when you walk into a crowded room, much like this, and everybody pops out, surprise, surprise. This is your wife. And that's how I got married several years ago. I've been married for a long time. I've been married for a while. I got married in 2007, I got married. Did I get married in 2007? Wait, no, I'm sorry. I got married in 2006. I met her in 2007. I always forget that part. But I've been married for a while now, and my wife is for the most part a peaceful person. Sometimes she gets a little angry. She holds grudges a little bit. My wife. She's still mad at me about lying to her about being a doctor, who happens to be our daughter. And well, I have a daughter. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and I went too long before having a kid. A lot of you guys are students. You don't have to worry about this yet. But when you do find the right person and get married, I don't advise you wait as long to have a kid as I did, because you get too much pressure. Your friends, your family, they just keep asking, when is the baby coming? When? It would just get to a point where I would just reply, Thursday. This Thursday come, and the baby will be present. We're not even that close. I don't know why you keep pestering me. So that's advice that I can give you as you grow older. And there's just so many new things that I've learned now, like after having a kid. One of the big things I've learned is I've learned the quality of my friends versus the quality of my wife's friends. Because my wife, you know, whenever my wife's friends come to the baby events that we have, they bring these nice gifts that are well thought out, that are gift wrapped in gift bags. And, you know, my friends, they're just a bunch of lazy guys. Like one of the gifts my daughter got, it was just on the back of an Exxon receipt. And it just said, "Happy Baby," and it was his Netflix username and password. The difference between men and women when they give gifts to kids. Some gifts are too much. Some gifts are just too... one of my wife's friends had given my daughter an iPad. My 2-year-old daughter an iPad, right? And here's the thing, like like forget about how extravagant the gift is. Here's the second problem. I think now in the world we're seeing a serious problem with screen addiction, where whenever you walk down the street, everybody's glued to their screens, right? But here's the thing, for us, at least the older people, at least we had the first half of our lives to learn our surroundings. These new poor kids, they're just glued to the screen from the start. They don't know anything. I was at a red light in Maryland, in a city, in my black Honda car, and my passenger door opened, and a kid came in, and he said, "You're not the Metro." And he just got out angry at me. That's why we can't give technology to these young kids too. It's not right. And what else? So, and I was in school, you know, much like you guys. I was in school many years ago. I went to school in Baltimore, and I didn't have that good of an experience in my school. And there were some good things and there were some bad things. A lot of my friends were really annoying and strange. You know, and you know, at the time, there weren't as many outsiders there, so my friends really didn't know how to treat me. So my American friends, you know, they always wanted to ask me to do strange, silly things. Like they always wanted to ask me if I wanted to go camping with them. Right? Like, why am I going to go camping with you? Like, this is why we came to America. So we wouldn't have to live in tents anymore. You know how mad my parents would be if they found out I was just voluntarily poor in Puerto Rican? Like, they can't understand what that concept is. So that was my school experience, and then I went straight to work. So I work for the U.S. government. I work for the U.S. Census Bureau, I do IT. I'm doing computer programming and things in the government, and things have changed a lot since I've been in the government for a long time now. There's a lot. One of the big things that's happened in IT is there's just a lot more. There's a lot more Muslim people in the workplace where I am now. There's so many Muslim people now in where I work, and it's just changed the dynamics. Whenever a project gets done, people just start yelling Allahu Akbar. I mean, half the office is now out on Eid, so they don't know what to do. And like, you know, our customs are sort of creeping in. Like every year, they used to have Christmas trees, and now we started putting up like Eid mountains in the office. And they had Secret Santa. That's the thing that's done in America. So last Eid we had Anonymous Abraham. So we're getting in there slowly, and but if you guys do work, if you guys do get a job in the federal government, it's a great place to work. It's just make sure you're at the right agency. If you're at a good agency, then it's a great place to work. But if you're at a if you're at an underfunded agency where things are so old at my agency, we're just so underfunded, we're outdated. It's like my agency is so old that like tourists accidentally come in thinking we're a museum. Sometimes like a Chinese couple came and wanted to take a picture with my computer. It's like, get out of my office. This doesn't work. And we don't, at the Census Bureau, we don't have like professional at census.gov email addresses. We all just have Hotmail addresses. And our home site is it's just on Facebook. We don't have a website right now. So, and just the quality of people you hire when you're underfunded isn't very good either. Like my boss, I have like the worst boss that there could be. I just have that. He's the absolute worst boss. Like Like one day, like when I first started working there, on my first day, I saw how old all the equipment was, how much work had to be done, and I started panicking about my decision, right? I was fresh out of school, like you guys will be working, and I was like, where am I working? All this stuff is so old. My boss came, my boss saw me worried. He was like, what's wrong with you? Why do you look so worried? I was like, look at all the stuff that has to be done. And he was just like, don't do it. And then he went back to sleep. That was the kind of person that my boss was. And so I've been trying to leave the Census Bureau. It's just very difficult to get a new job when you have census on your resume. I think people don't really want you anymore. And like a good indicator that it's time to leave your work is when you stop wearing your good cologne to work. Right? I get out the shower and I see my Polo Sport and I'm like, these guys don't deserve this. And I wear my Adidas Moves instead, which I got free with my shoes from Foot Locker. Or sometimes I wear Brute, which I got on my wedding day as a gift. So, and it's very difficult when when you have census on your resume. Like I was job hunting and I was getting so desperate to find a new job that when I applied with the defense company Lockheed Martin, I changed my name on my resume to Lockheed Martin. And I wrote a cover letter about it not being coincidence that my name was Lockheed Martin. And I had been sent by God to work for the company. And it's just very difficult. So I'm still there. So be careful where you go for your first job. And what else can I tell you guys? So Saudi Arabia. So I grew up in Saudi Arabia. I was there for several years, and then my family went back there again when my dad worked there again. So I would spend my winter breaks there in Saudi Arabia. And I went. The last time I went to Saudi Arabia was 4 years ago when I did Hajj. So I went to Hajj, and I did Hajj a few years ago, and I learned a lot of things when I went to Hajj. There was a lot of good lessons that I learned. One of the best lessons I learned is to make sure you pick a good Hajj group to go with. All right? A good indicator you picked the wrong group is when they spell it H-U-D-G-E in the flyer. That's a good indicator. And also pick a good group leader. Like we were trying to talk with a group leader on what we would do in different situations. If we got separated, what would we do? And his idea was we will all meet at the Kaaba door. Not advisable. Very difficult to meet with your party at the Kaaba door. But Hajj, I give the kingdom a lot of credit. It was a very smooth experience. And I give them a lot of credit for how smooth of an experience it was with so many people coming in, and I didn't really have any. The only one bad day I had was just in Arafat. Arafat was my hardest day. I think, because the mosquitoes just got me very bad, and I think those mosquitoes got me because they knew I worked for the American government. I think that was a reason. So nobody else in my Hajj group had the mosquito problems that I had. And then I went 4 years ago, so it was very new that they just started having wireless service everywhere. So I was I could use my mobile device there to do the internet, but there was a lot of websites that are blocked in Saudi Arabia, which I learned. So one of the websites that was blocked was Men's Health, which when you're in a Hajj and you're seeing so many bellies, you shouldn't block that site. A lot of the people on Hajj could benefit from the site, so that's my recommendation, is to unblock that site. And after you complete Hajj, you're supposed to say something that you're not going to do anymore. Your sins are cleansed. You're supposed to say something you're not going to do anymore. So I made a pact that I will not do any more backbiting anymore. No more talking about anybody negatively behind their back. So now whenever I have to say something negative about somebody, I call them up and tell them I'm about to say something negative about them. And I'll lose the friendship sometimes, but at least I keep my promise. And so what else can I talk to you guys about? I just observe things as a comedian, right? Like, you just walk around, you just pay attention to things that you wouldn't normally notice, but you have to. My wife is from Chicago, in Chicago, Illinois. So we fly to Chicago very often. And whenever we fly to Chicago, we like flying United Airlines because they have the most flights out of all the other airlines from the DC area to Chicago. So that's like our favorite airline. And I had noticed that recently that they started carrying Muslim meals on the airline. Right? Before they only had like the veggie options or the kosher options. So I was like, good for United, finally embracing adding some Muslim meals. Until I realized what was probably really going on, right? Because you get 10 or 15 Muslim meals on that flight may not take off, right? That was very clever, United. Nice try on doing that. I was at Macy's. I was at the department store Macy's, and I saw that they had a vending machine there that sells iPads and it sells iPods. Have you seen this vending machine? Isn't this the craziest thing? Right? Like, because like an iPad, like you research an iPad in advance. Like you budget for an iPad, you plan for an iPad. Vending machines are for impulse buys. Who is walking by and is just like, yeah, I can go for an iPad right now, yeah. And how many times have we lost $1 in a vending machine getting a candy bar? It's got to be the speed cameras, right? The speed cameras that they have them everywhere in Washington, D.C. They have speed cameras in every single corner, and if you get hit with a speed camera, it's a $150 fine. And if you don't pay in 4 hours, it doubles to $300. That's how bad, like it's a very excessive fine. And they have speed cameras even in neighborhoods which are not very good in Washington, D.C. So I had gotten a speed camera and I took the ticket to court, and the judge was asking, why were you speeding? I was like, why do you think I'm trying to get out of this neighborhood? Why couldn't we automate this part? And so what else? We had a family event recently, a big family event. It was my sister's wedding. It was a surprise wedding. So yes, we had this event for her, and so we had people come from very, very far places, right? Because people in America, when they have events, they just have people coming from different states, not too far. When we have events, we have people coming from all over the world. But it's a very busy weekend, and they want us to show them around DC. So some of the people who were from the parts I knew that they wouldn't know, I just took them around my home neighborhood and told them that it was DC. So just to save some time. Like it was just so fun. Luckily, we saw a nice big White House. So they were very happy to, and they took a picture with the guy who lived there because they thought he was President Obama. And they're very, they're very different. There's sometimes